Hi, this is Chris, Video Game Dust Leaves, and you're listening to the VGDS podcast with my co-host, Linda, aka the Gamer Girl.
Hey everybody.
And my guest gamers, BonesZ06.
What's up?
DanCavDragon.
Hey, what's happening?
And ChrisJamesT85.
What's going on?
The first segment is Sleeve It or Leave It, as usual. The first game is Bram Stoker's Dracula for the Sega Game Gear. Linda, would you sleeve it or leave it?
I would sleeve it. It's a decent game.
Dan?
Yeah, the Dracula games are pretty good, and so I'll just leave this one.
Bones?
Nope. Sorry, I don't sleeve my Game Gear games, so
Boo.
that's just not gonna happen.
It's a lot easier to find your game.
I still gotta rip them out of the Game Gear bag and just sort through them to find it, so it doesn't matter.
But then you can
sleeve those.
organize them on a shelf properly.
Yeah, I'm trying to save shelf space.
And Chris?
Leave it. I mean, the only Game Gear game I have is in a plastic bag.
Okay.
Same as me, man.
Shut up. Nobody asked you, Bones. And the next game is Jack Brothers for the Virtual Boy. Dan, would you sleeve it or leave it?
Definitely, this is like the most expensive Virtual Boy game out there, so you gotta sleeve this one.
Bones?
If I had it, I would, yeah, just because of how uncommon it is.
Linda?
Yeah, I would take the game out of the box, so I would stop messing with the box and just have the game sleeved on the side so I knew who it was.
That's a good idea. Then you won't have to tamper with the box anytime.
Yeah.
And Chris?
I'd sleeve it if I owned the game.
The next game is Goonies for the Famicom. Dan, would you sleeve it or leave it?
Normally I would say no, because I'm not a big fan of the Goonies games, but I do have this game, so I would sleeve it for myself.
Well, the funny thing is, Dan, you got this sleeved.
Yeah, that's why I can't really say no to it, but...
Exactly.
I thought so.
Linda, would you sleeve it or leave it?
I would sleeve it and just have the American name on it because I don't read Japanese.
The American name is on there.
No, I'm saying bigger, because...
If you look on the spine, it is on there.
No, I can't see it. I need it bigger. I need it bolder.
Chris?
I'd sleeve it,
I mean, it's Goonies. Why wouldn't you?
just because I actually own this game. Yeah.
Do you really?
I own this and Goonies 2. Yeah, it came in a VGM box that...
Nice.
This version I'd never recorded, but it was one of my first boxes.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Bones, I asked you, or no?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
But it's so funny that you picked that game because that game is one of the reasons I want to get a Famicom. Even though I don't like Goonies on the NES, the second one they made, I want that just because it is the Goonies. As weird as that sounds, I want it just because it's the Goonies. So I would probably buy it and sleeve it.
Well, the box art alone on that is pretty
It's cool.
decent. Yeah.
It's cool.
And the last sleeve it or leave it is a Sega Master System game, and it's Gangster Town. Linda, sleeve it or leave it?
Yeah, I would sleeve it, just because it's a Master System game.
Bones?
Well, you know, if it's loose, I'm sleeving it.
Chris?
I'd probably leave it. I mean, all my others are not sleeved.
And Dan?
Well, I did sleeve all my Master System games, including this one, so I guess I'd have to sleeve it. But in terms of the whole library, this is not one of the better games, I would say.
So, boo for the game, yay for the sleeve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next segment is Guess That Box Art. Who wants to give a crack at it first?
Can you give me a hint on the first one?
Sure.
Like, what system is this?
Yep, that's Sega.
Genesis.
Yes.
Hmm.
I think I know this one.
I swear I know that picture, but I just can't think of what the game is.
I'm getting that same vibe. Like, I'm probably gonna see that because it looks like a cat with like a unicorn or something in front of it.
Pegasus, maybe, or something like that. I mean, I don't know if I have the box for it. If I had the box for it, I probably would know it right off the top of my head. I probably looked at the box.
You may
I
have.
don't currently own it.
Anybody want to give it a crack?
I
that's
say
good.
cat.
Hmm?
All I'm gonna say is a cat, but I have no idea.
I'll guess if nobody else knows it.
Go ahead, Dan.
No, I mean, I can't think of any Genesis box that has that cat on it on the top of my head. I just Garfield, but that ain't Garfield.
No.
Yeah, that's not
not
Garfield.
Garfield.
I know that for a
Nah.
fact.
Well, maybe I'm
Yeah,
right.
no.
Is it Flicky?
Yes, sir.
Like, good.
Oh,
Got
really?
it.
It's Flicky.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Flicky has a blue bird
Yeah.
and a cat in the back.
Really? I don't even think I've seen the cover art for that. That's probably
Actually, you probably have.
But not like all the time. It's like
No,
an
no, I don't
uncommon
think it's- I
game.
don't think
so,
it's that common.
like, I don't like when I'm going out. I don't see it like on the shelf just chilling.
Yeah, it's not that common, but it's a fun game.
I've never played it, but I was just intrigued by the box art. I was like, why not?
Yeah.
All right, next title. I'll Bones. You want to give it a go?
I'm just gonna say He-Man for shits and giggles.
No, it's a Sega game. I'll give you that. It's a Sega game. Chris, you want to try?
The first thing that came to my head was gargoyles, and I know that's not it.
No. Dan?
I don't. This looks familiar, but I can't. Is it? No. Is it one of the Icario Warrior games?
No. Linda?
It's got to be one of those weird random like fighting, like somebody's on this with a sword on the front because it looks like somebody's jumping out at them. So I'm gonna take a wild guess and just say something like Internal Champions or something like that. Maybe.
No.
No.
It's
Okay.
not that, because I'm pretty sure I know what that box art looks like.
Any other
Well, there's
guesses?
some creature on it. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other guesses?
Well, it sure as hell ain't the Lost Vikings, and that's for some reason popping in my head, but I know it's not that. No, I don't know what that is. That's got to be an oddball one that I don't have either in my collection already.
Is it like
I was
Dungeons
thinking
and Dragons, maybe?
Ground, but
No.
No.
Thundercats.
Why not?
Oh man.
I mean, if I'm just gonna throw things out there, just to...
Yeah,
Hey, whatever.
until we finally thought of
Whatever.
it's not Dark Castle. No, that's not the same creature, I don't think.
No.
It's
No, I
NES.
don't know.
Wait. I know what it is.
No, it's
My
Sega.
son when he wakes up in
Sega?
the morning.
Nope, I don't know.
Castlevania Bloodlines. That's my final guess.
No.
No, I have that.
Any other final guesses before I give it to YouTube?
Wait, YouTube? Come on! No!
Has it been that long since we haven't got it right?
Yeah, you've only haven't gotten one. And the whole entirety of me doing the podcast, there was only one time where I actually gave it to YouTube, and somebody did actually answer it.
No, I have no idea what that is.
No other guesses?
Nope.
Okay. So what I'll do is, this will go out to YouTube. Anybody that watches this or listens to this podcast, please, by all means, tell me what that box art is. If you can, I will pin your comment. And I will let these guys know once the box art is guessed. If it ever happens to get guessed. And maybe this will come back in another podcast. We'll have it revolving. So we'll give you guys...
in my collection,
it will give you guys time to maybe look for it. Because I know 2 of you have this game.
That's buku crazy.
Yep.
Well, I just got left out.
Did Bones just get this box in his latest shipment?
Actually, he actually may have.
I don't think so. It looks very familiar, but it's not. I could be thinking of a whole nother console.
Any other last guesses? This is it, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gave all my guesses I could think of.
Okay.
It's got a creature on them.
Alright, so you guys do your homework. I'll bring it back in another podcast if nobody guesses it on YouTube.
Homework. Oh,
And yeah, Chris, if you ever figure this out, let me know.
well, I already told you, it's my son waking up in the morning, or not getting his food.
The only thing I could think of it would have been Golden Axe, but that doesn't look that familiar to me to be Golden Axe's cover. So I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I
That's
don't know.
not it.
And buy it.
Alright, so we'll move on to the next segment, which is Logo Sleeve of the Month. And this month is Captain Algebra. The guy who hates Wind Waker and loves LJN. So, by all means, please buy his sleeve. If you do, proceeds go to his channel.
Yes.
The captain.
Yes!
I'll buy it only if he plays Wind Waker.
Well, that will be never.
Never.
So,
I already have the sleeve, so
yeah.
yeah.
You do already have it, right? Yeah, that's right.
Yes, I do.
So, alright, so the next segment is Franchise of the Month, and I'm going to give this to Dan. Take it away.
Right. So, I pick a franchise of the month, and I usually have a couple questions or thoughts on it. And I have 2 parts to this today. And our franchise is Pokemon, so hopefully...
Gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah, hopefully you guys have played this at some level in your video game past. So my questions are, have you ever played it, or do you play it now? And which of these games, or which of any of the games in the series do you think is the best of the series? And I'll start off by saying I am not a Pokemon player at all, so I will not be answering any of those questions.
Okay.
So I'm going to throw it to you guys.
Okay, I'll go, and I'll say the exact same thing you said. I never played a Pokemon game in my life. So, I do have Pokemon games. I have Pokemon Snap, I have Pokemon Puzzle League, I have Pokemon Stadium, and I think that's the extent of my Pokemon library. And I never played those games. I actually have them, just never put them in. The only time I ever used any kind of Pokemon character was I think aren't they in Smash Bros?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's it.
Yeah.
That's my extent of using a Pokemon character. That's it. So I will allow Linda to go now.
Okay, so I have played some Pokemon games. I have played the original 3, Red, Blue, and Yellow. Did not beat them. They're just too long for me. I kind of lost interest after a little bit when I was a kid. I have played Pokemon Snap, both at my cousin's place and at the Blockbuster. I remember trading photos with friends at school. So that was a fun hobby, and kind of sad when they stopped the kiosk. I'm happy that they're going to bring back Pokemon Snap for the Switch. I'm actually going to pick that up. That's probably my only Pokemon game I'll have in this system playing, because I don't think any of the other games I have had any interest in after that, because there's just so many Pokemon, so many to remember. I barely remembered the original. the original set, and then when they started throwing in way more, I was just like, my brain capacity's met at max. I'm good. So I did try Pokemon Go for a little bit, but I also lost interest after a little bit because it's just something that like it's a grind fest of like walking around trying to hatch them, and it sounds fun, and it's fun for a lot of people, but it's just not my app. It's just not for me. Like, I need to, be able to just, like, when I play, because I only have a couple hours to play for the weekdays. And the weekend, I'm doing stuff a lot, so I can't be walking around with a phone trying to make sure I hatched all my eggs and, babysit them. I don't have that time, so. I don't think anything else has interested me, so, yeah, that is my full extent of Pokemon history.
All right, Chris, go ahead.
Well, where do I start? I started with Pokemon Blue and completed it 100%. Went to Red. I beat Red, Blue, Green, not Green. Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, and Silver, and then it was a while before I got to the Nintendo DS versions, and I actually never finished one DS version. Pokemon Snap, I have on my Wii U. That's how I got to play it. But I remember picking up, I think, Fiery Red for the Advance, then realizing it's almost the same as the first Pokemon game that I played. Lost interest quick. Switch came out with new Pokemon games of Let's Go Pikachu. Had to get it. Played it. I liked it just for the nostalgia, but it was just one of those, I wanted to battle, what I enjoyed, and now I have, Pokemon Sword, I think, on my Switch, and I know I beat it, I got the expansion pass, and I lost interest. I haven't played it in a while. So, the first three, amazing to me, but like Linda said, it's hard to realize who all the extra creatures are. I could have just been happy with 151.
Okay, Bones.
Well, I'm on the same page as you guys, where I probably have at least 6 Pokemon games in my collection, and besides being put in to test to make sure they work, that is the extent of my Pokemon experience in video games. I only watched the first season of the cartoon, and that was more than enough for me. I'm just not into that style game, and I wasn't even 100% sure how those games played, but now after hearing how you have to, hatch them and all that, definitely not going to be going to Pokemon games, because that is not my feel whatsoever. I did that for Seaman, the video game for the Dreamcast, and I felt like I wasted a month of my time. So I will not be doing that with Pokemon. So I don't have a favorite, unfortunately.
So to continue like a little bit more Pokemon conversation, I never got into Pokemon, like even the cartoon or anything like that. It was never for me, I guess.
Yeah, it was not for a lot of people, because my cousin was really into Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I remember going to the theater, and when Ash froze and everybody was crying, my mom was actually asleep, woke up, is everybody okay? What's going on? And I go, oh, Ash is frozen. He's going to be alive in a few seconds. And she just fell back asleep.
Jeez.
Because, the storyline is not for everybody. Like, it's literally just a Pokemon trade. It's kind of like Beyblade or, Yu-Gi-Oh! Same thing.
Yeah.
The person
For the Pokemon, that was the only reason I watched it. They had Charizard and Pikachu. You had.
And actually, they had a lot of personality in the show. Like, you hear them sing, you hear them talk. It was cute, but after the first 2 movies, I kind of same thing. Lost interest in the movies too. Once they added all those Pokemon, I was like, whoa, I gotta memorize another set. I'm like, it's a lot to memorize.
Yeah.
The characters.
You know what? When you go on the first 2 movies, the only thing I remember about them is the soundtracks. I love both of their soundtracks.
Great music, yeah.
Yeah,
and the little characters'
the people
music
that they
is
got
cute too.
for it, yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah.
So really don't remember. When you said Ash died, it's like, oh yeah, I do remember
He
that.
didn't die technically. He got frozen.
Froze. He got Han Solo.
Yeah, he basically he was sitting there. Pikachu's like, ah! I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah,
We're gonna cry
out of
for
those
2
movies,
minutes.
I just remember the soundtracks because I actually still have the soundtrack.
Mhm. Yeah, I had the VHS somewhere. I don't know what happened to it.
I just don't see what the big fuss is about it. I mean, I could see one of them, but I mean, look at how many they've made, and are they really all that different? You
gotta remember 2 things. Back in the day, that was a hot commodity. You know what I mean? Like Nintendo is another reason. It's all Nintendo. Any IP for Nintendo has done well, and also the main reason a lot of people liked it was the fact that it was a grind fest. You know, like look at Legend of Zelda. People loved going through and getting every item and saying, "Guess what? Screenshot. I did it all." You know, that's just how some people are. Like they collect every single Pokemon, level it up to the max. And then they show everybody, look, I leveled up every single one. And then they'll go through their list and be like, here's every single one with a little photo.
Well,
and
yeah,
it's
it's a rare candy cheat. Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's some people that do that.
You know, it's funny. I got a game box in the mail, and they gave me a free Pokemon card in it, a trading card.
Really? Which one was it? If it was a rare one, did you check it out to see if it was rare?
No, I just threw it on the game shelf. I haven't done anything.
You better check, bro. Those are rare now. The Pokemon prices have gone up for the cards.
I wish I didn't sell mine a long time ago. I wish I kept them till today, then sold them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you technically still sold them, so
yeah,
got a little bit of value out of them.
I
So
was actually shocked for what I got out of them.
That kind of leads into the next part of this franchise of the month. I was gonna have you guys take a guess about which is the most valuable game here of the Pokemon series.
On this image?
Well, not necessarily in this image. What's the most valuable collectible game? Complete, not counting something that came bundled with a system or something. You know, just the game by itself.
Isn't it the GameCube one?
It has to be the GameCube one.
Some of the handhelds are really expensive too.
But they're always expensive. They're always going to be full price for like $50-$60, but they're not going to be because they're so common. Everybody has a copy set, you know.
Complete though, like, are you being
complete? Yeah, they're pretty accessible, but
yeah.
Because they get expensive. If you get a complete in box, some of those Game Boy ones, I know they're expensive.
I was gonna say Pokemon Green.
You're close. So the most expensive one is typically Pokemon Crystal for the Game Boy Color, and
really,
yep.
Oh yeah, because I remember
that goes about $350.
Yeah, because two things. It was one of like the game itself was one of those like specialty carts that they did.
Yeah, and then on another game on here is Emerald for the Game Boy Advance. That goes for about $260 complete bucks.
Mm-hmm.
What does the Pokemons on the GameCube go for, Dan? Do you know?
They're pretty collectible.
Yeah.
But my other question was, what do you think is the cheapest Pokemon game on here?
The Wii one.
Yeah.
Pokemon Go.
Well, yeah, that's what, free?
That's free.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, there's in-game purchases, so it depends on how much you spend. If you don't want to grind fest, you can patch them and pay for it and stuff like that.
Isn't Puzzle League? You're saying complete, so I guess the 64 ones. They're not. The Pokemon Stadium 2 is kind of expensive, but the other ones really aren't that expensive. But complete in box. Maybe that. Didn't the Snap one come with a microphone?
No. I don't remember.
Oh, the Hey You Pikachu one did. That's
right. The Hey You Pikachu one, that's expensive. That's like one of the rarest ones to get. Because it's got the complete in box for Hey You Pikachu is ridiculously priced.
Well, most of the time when you find the microphone, it's missing the little ball from the top. I know that.
Yeah. So that's not going to be the one because that's way too expensive. So
which one is it, Dan?
The cheapest one on here is for the 3DS. Pokemon Rumble Blast will cost you a whole $10.
Oh,
Whole $10.
yeah.
$10 complete,
yeah,
you said?
that one's okay.
$10 you can have Pokemon Blast.
Yeah, because it wasn't like a color. I think like that's the main reason why. Like
Yeah.
you have to have like a color or a theme to it, and that was like one of the few that they just like set a name and call it a day.
And it's still pretty new, probably, compared to everything else.
Mm-hmm.
The hell is Detective Pikachu?
You haven't been around, bro. Where you been? That's
I know,
the movie
Bones.
also.
Like, come on.
That game sucked.
I don't have children. Okay.
I don't.
so
It has
watch
nothing to
it.
do with you knowing about Detective Pikachu. There's even an amiibo for that.
There's a big
Yeah.
amiibo for that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
thing is
I don't
huge.
have amiibos either, so.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu came out with the movie. It was kind of like Ratchet and Clank, where they simultaneously released the game and then a few minutes later released the movie. And it was in theaters. You could see it in theaters for a little bit.
Right.
Well, that's all I have for franchise of the month. But I thought we'd have more Pokemon players out there. But definitely, Chris, you sound like you put some time into it, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
All right. Now this is the time in the podcast where Chris is going to tell us a little bit about himself and his collection and all that wonderful stuff. Take it away.
I have a very small collection that I gather very slowly, but what I do have, I enjoy. My name is Chris, and yeah, I need help with this.
All right. So what's your
What,
personality
start
on
with
YouTube?
your channel.
Yeah. What is your
My
YouTube?
channel. I used to do like pickup videos and unboxings, but I haven't really done anything like that, just because of things going on here. But you could usually find me live streaming games, either through my PS4 or finally using, one of those little devices to do it. And I'll just do that until you hear my kids start screaming. But I play almost anything and everything.
What-
Sometimes games that people don't like to play.
All right. So what is your YouTube name? For
It
people that
is
don't know.
ChrisJamesT85.
Why'd you go with your name? Why didn't you pick like a random name that some people have done?
Because my name has been my character for everything since I started playing video games, of like creating people. It's just Chris James T or Chris James. And I never thought about choosing another name.
If you could, what would have been like your plan B for your channel name if you didn't go with Chris James?
Well, it ain't Master Chief.
Oh man, you beat me to it.
I knew that was coming, Bone. I played around, when I first started watching things, it's like, oh, I play modern games, retro games, so I was going to be like, maybe I can make the name Retro Modern Gamer, and it just never stuck in my head. I just kept my name. And there's probably way too many people out there with the exact same name, so my
True.
name's kind of like...
Yeah.
So since you stream, what's the most annoying thing that could happen during your stream?
You'll hear it every stream. My kids coming in to scream about fighting over the same car.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other
If
than that, I don't know if, like my nephew, he'll tell me, hey, it just dropped, where on my computer everything looks fine, but apparently it freezes up on YouTube, and I just wish it would say, hey, notification, you're frozen.
All right. So what are like the type of games that you play? Like what do you collect?
Well, right now I've been playing nothing but Animal Crossing on my Switch, and going from there, I like Call of Duty games. I mean, I like playing the zombie mode. I still play the Pokemon game, just not as much, but you'll see me either playing the Animal Crossing, or I just picked up, what is this game called? Immortals Phoenix Rising. That one I'm actually playing right now. Just haven't streamed it.
How do you like that game?
You know, it's actually fun. I'm always weirded out, like the graphics on like the cover art, I'm looking at it, they look amazing, and then in the game it's like, it's kind of cartoony, but then you kind of get over the cartoony because you realize it is a video game and it's a cartoon, but you get into the game and you're lost like almost every other game, which is what I do enjoy. It's like I like a good story, but I also like no stories where I'm just racing and shooting people in Grand Theft Auto for like 5 minutes. Then you get tired of that because it's the same thing over and over, but you know, I just go through different games. You'll see me play like a wrestling game. I love wrestling games. Can't tell you who they are anymore because I stopped watching wrestling.
Yeah, I stopped watching wrestling like early 2000, maybe even 99. Got a little too fake for me.
I mean, the other day, I'm looking at my Switch right now. That's right, it was Contra. I finally beat Contra by myself, where I never actually played it all the way through to the end without my mom's help. And I beat it on the Switch, so I was like, oh, this is cool. And now a couple people have told me, now you gotta play it without using the cheat code.
I was going to ask you if you used the cheat code, Chris.
Of course I did, but the last time I played it and I beat it, I actually had no game over, and that was a plus. So I had still 20-something lives left. I was impressed.
So you're making progress.
That run I did good, yeah. And then I tried to go, oh, you know what? Maybe I can no death run this if I take it nice and slow. Taking it nice and slow made it even worse.
Yeah, you don't wanna. You have to be medium speed. Like, you can't be too fast about it unless you know exactly, like, you have memorized everything, and you can't be just waiting because they'll just keep spawning. People think, oh, they're gonna stop. No, they don't stop. They keep the enemies on their toes.
All right, so Dan, you got any questions for Chris?
Yeah, sure. You know, I'm always the oldest person on this podcast, so I'm always interested in like how far back people go in gaming, and when did you get into video gaming, and what was your first system?
I know our first system was the Atari 2600.
Yeah.
And the only game I really remember playing on it was Pitfall. My mom said we had a whole bunch of games, but again, Pitfall was the one that I remember. We had an Apple Macintosh, and I played Pong on that. Gotta love Pong.
Nothing wrong with Pong.
Then,
that's where it all started.
When the Nintendo, I don't know if we got it when the Nintendo came out, because I honestly don't remember. But I do remember going to Kmart to pick it up with my dad. And of course it was Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. And so yeah, it goes all the way back to Nintendo. I never had a Super Nintendo till, just recently and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice playing the older games, kind of like giving it to my son and say, hey, let's play these. Everything's new to him. So watching the joy on his face of old games, but brand new to him, it's amazing. And then the games I haven't even played and we're playing together.
I was going to say, you said you just got the Super Nintendo recently?
Yes.
Alright, so that's kind of new to you then, too, if you didn't have it, right?
I mean, I played, games on an emulator, but it's not the same.
It's not the same, nah, you got to have the controller. Dan?
Hey, I love my Super Nintendo.
Somebody likes emulation a little too much.
He's got the best of both worlds.
I can't bust on you, Linda.
Emulator and all this collection.
I can't bust on you, Linda. You know why? Because you don't have the games in your room. He has the games in his room. He's just too lazy to put it in the console. Instead, he does it on emulation.
That's right. I'm lazy, but
You know what? You also gotta remember he's preserving his collection, because every time you were to take that game out, the potential to like further damage it, because eventually those motherboards are not gonna last, you know?
Well, I'm
Something's
just gonna
gonna
say
happen.
this too. If you got a 2 and 4-year-old, it's not going to last if you leave them out.
No, they will not, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you subscribe to the online service for the Switch? Because they have a lot of those games on there. If you subscribe,
I do. I
That's
actually, I gave my son a Switch. He's got the online service, and my main Switch and my Switch Lite. They all have individual Switch services. Yeah, it's sad. But yeah, I play a lot of the Nintendo and Super Nintendo on that. It's fun.
Well, yeah, that's my last question is like, what are your favorite systems to collect for?
Right now it's been for the Switch, but I've been trying to collect for the Wii U because me and Wyatt, my son, are playing that a lot together, and that's one system that the disc drive actually works. So it's very much enjoyable, and there's a lot of 2-player games. So just keep him from breaking a TV again is, another thing on my bucket list. But the Wii and the Wii U, since it plays all on the same system, those are what I'm finding fun to collect, because there's a lot of kid games that my son definitely enjoys.
Definitely a good console for family entertainment, like Wii and Wii U. They're perfect for that.
Mm-hmm.
The prices haven't gotten crazy for those
Right.
systems yet, so.
There's only a couple crazy priced games, but
Yeah.
other than that, like the full library is like pretty reasonable. Yeah, any more questions for Dan?
Yep, that's all I got.
Linda, you have any questions?
Yeah, if you weren't a gaming channel, what would be your plan B for your channel?
You know what? A weight loss thing, because recently, before I actually got into the gaming of YouTube, I was watching other people lose weight, so that was kind of a thing. And then one thing that I enjoyed was Retro Mikey 78. It was gaming, and he was talking about his weight loss. But I never, can't even think of the word, went with it, because I'm camera shy of definitely when it comes to my weight and all that. But I actually thought about starting something. I picked up, the Ring Fit, and I thought me and the kids could do it, where, I get healthy and we're enjoying playing together.
Right. I hear Ring Fit is like really good. Like it really gives you a little workout.
I haven't fully booted it up yet. I just went to go test it to make sure, the straps fit and all that, and I was impressed because I have huge thighs, and I was able to put a strap on my leg.
Nice.
So that was one thing that, okay, I can do this, but I ate a cheeseburger earlier, and you could see that I was doing the Ring Fit.
Hey, baby steps, man. You gotta start slow, otherwise you're gonna, So that they've said that though, you can't quit smoking cold turkey. Most people have to go slow, do some other stuff, and occasionally wean off of it. So
What's
every
crazy
day
is
is a
my
step.
sister cold turkey quit smoking, and quit drinking soda, and it's gone. I think she's quit about 4 or 5 years now, and still on it of no soda, no smoking. And I'm impressed.
Good.
Heck yeah.
I
If
think say no
you
to my Diet Mountain Dew.
if you had one dream console that is expensive to pick up, which one would you get and why?
Dream console, expensive to get. To get all the games for that I would like to play always.
Yeah. If it a system or a console or a game that you would not pick up because it's just so expensive, it's just out of your budget range.
It'd probably be, even though I own a GameCube, it would be the GameCube, because there was a lot of games I wanted to play, And then looking at some of the prices now, I'm not paying it. So I'm just not going to play it. But at the same time, I'm thinking GameCube, the Dreamcast. There's a lot of games I want to play, but they're very expensive. So that one's hard. But I'm going to lean more towards the GameCube because I still have Nintendo more in my heart than Sega.
Nice. That was my last question.
Okay, Bones.
Chris, out of all the things you had when you were younger that you do not currently have in your collection, what is one thing that you want again in your collection that you had as a kid that you no longer have?
My PlayStation 1.
You don't own a
wish-
PlayStation 1?
Nope. I've been trying to find a PlayStation 1. I recently, yesterday, I went to go try to get one from Marketplace, and they ghosted me. But a PlayStation 1. I have means to play PlayStation 1 on PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, but I want my original PlayStation 1 that I had when I was a kid, because it was one of those consoles that I took everywhere. To Vegas, to my grandparents, everywhere. And if I could still have the same games that I had back then, which I am currently about, I think, 6 away from having what I had in my childhood. It's one of those, that was my go-to. I loved my PlayStation 1. And even though the graphics may not hold up today, I still enjoy the games that I played. Like Rugrats, Search for Reptar. Some people may hate it. I enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the Bugs Life. There's a lot of games on it that I loved.
I played a Bug's Life on that.
Bugs Life was awesome.
What, out of all the retro handhelds, what is your favorite retro handheld?
The Game Boy.
Just the original Game Boy.
The original Game Boy. I mean, I had the Game Boy Color, but the original Game Boy, it was my dad's, and I always stole it, and it ate batteries like no other. But nothing beats the original.
Yeah, I agree. The OG. Gotta go with the OG.
Can't argue there.
What
And Tetris.
what's your go-to game that you and your two boys love to play the most together?
Burnout. Burnout on the Xbox. We will play Burnout 3 and then Burnout Takedown on the Xbox 360, but mostly just Burnout 3.
Very nice. Very nice.
They like to crash the cars, right?
Oh, yeah.
Of course. That's like the best part of Burnout.
So when Gaming Off the Grid always, streams the, Burnout, Wyatt, he knows the sound from that game. You're playing Burnout? Like, yup.
Well, I'm not sure if anybody asked this per se in the same way, but what is the most important thing in your collection currently to you? Money is not the important part, just the important to you in your collection. It could be a $5 item, it could be a $100 item. It doesn't matter on price, but the most important thing to you sentimental wise.
It would be my PS1 copy of Independence Day, because that was one of the only games me and my dad would constantly play together. I mean, my dad's still around, we could still play games, whatnot, but growing up, when I had that PS1, it was the only game that we had at that time frame, 2-player, and I'd always get a dead arm because, you're supposed to shoot other people. I always shot him down. So, but to this day, that is the conversation that me and my dad will always bring up when we see each other, is that game, Independence Day. It may not be the greatest game ever, but it was just the memories of, playing with your dad. Kind of like me and my boys playing Burnout.
Yeah, definitely. I have one more question, and it's usually a doozy. When it comes to the first game that pops into your head that gives you terrible memories, what name comes to mind?
Halo, because of you guys.
That's not what I was expecting, but pretty good.
I have officially, of what you sent me in this box, let's see, 10 copies of Halo 1, 4 copies of Halo 2. I can just keep going.
Oh, my Lord.
I'm actually going to go down 1 copy of Halo because one of my coworkers asked if he could have one, and I said yes. So, pass on the
That's
Halo.
what it is. It's pass it
That's
along.
what it's there for.
Exactly. You know anybody
He
that
said his
doesn't
son
need
let
that
him
needs
borrow
it?
it the other day and took it. I'm all, you know what? I got plenty of copies. You can have one.
You sure do. And you'll be getting more eventually, I'm sure.
Everyone who's listening to this right now, they're giving you the fake address. Don't send it, Halo.
I'll make sure I have it flashed on the screen right now. Halo. All right, Chris, do you have...
You wanted to get the helmet, didn't you?
I did. You know what? I actually got, for Christmas, the Halo Lego set. That was the helmet. And I'm staring at it right now. It's pretty freaking cool. But yes, if I had... excuse me, if I had the helmet, that would almost complete what I really want. Because anytime sadly, because of this running gag, I'm just going to call it, anytime I see a Master Chief, I'm just going to pick it up. But
What about
and I will
Fortnite?
get it.
Fortnite has Halo now. Would you get that skin?
Uh-oh. Hang on a minute. Something happened. You guys still there?
Yeah, we're still here.
Yep, we got you.
My headphones died, so I got to go through my phone.
All right, we're
If
good.
you guys...
We can hear you.
Alright, cool.
Okay, I'll ask the question again. If you found out that Fortnite has Halo skin, would you pick it up?
I'd delete Fortnite in a heartbeat.
Well, Halo's on Fortnite now.
Is it really?
Yep.
I don't play
Fortnite. Download it
If
again,
you
Chris.
I'm going to throw this out there. If you see my username with Xbox or whatever with Fortnite, just know it's not me. It is my nephew playing. Thank you very much. It is not me. That
You had to clarify that.
games, I like building games. I don't like them in both. No offense to anybody who does enjoy the game. If I can sit there and enjoy it, then great. But if I'm shooting at you and you have already built a house and I still didn't hit you, I'm done.
All right, Chris, do you have any questions for any one of us? Or just a question in general to ask us?
How long have you all been doing this?
Doing the podcast?
No, the gaming in general.
Oh, gaming.
Wow.
My whole life.
Yeah, pretty much. From the time I was at least 5 years old, maybe.
Yep.
So
Same here,
about
5 years old.
What's that, Chris?
So we're all about the same. Started about 5 years old.
Yep.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
because we had the NES just chilling in the front room. So, like, my uncle would be playing, and then once I figured out how to play, I started playing, so.
And I go back to the Atari days, so yeah, that was my first console. And so I've been playing since then.
Believe it or not, that was my first console, too. The Atari 2600.
Well, if you didn't have a system, your friends had it, and
Pretty much.
you've always been gaming. I'd say I started collecting even when I was young, but I did get rid of stuff over the years. I still always collected and always gamed.
Yeah, for me, collecting has always been with me. I never sold any of my games. I never got rid of any titles. No, the only thing that's ever happened to me, people stole from me. So, like, I've had people take my... One thing that I haven't replaced yet was my Atari Junior. I had an Atari Junior. Somebody stole it. and I haven't replaced it yet. A lot of Atari games that I had stole, gone. So, but as far as collecting is concerned, I have all my childhood stuff still. So,
I wish I didn't get rid of all my stuff.
well,
Bad time.
it was a big passion of mine, gaming. So, like, I felt that if I wanted to keep anything from my childhood, it was definitely my games over my toys. So I had, like, you know, some original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle toys and stuff like that. I saved them up until my kid was a kid. Like, he was old enough to play with them, but he didn't want to play with them, and I was like, yeah, well, what's the point of really keeping them? So kind of got rid of those. And
Right.
I don't know. I mean, that freed up more space for my games. So it was a win-win for me. Get rid of the toys, concentrate on the games more.
Better decision.
There's only one thing that I have left as far as my toys are concerned, and that is I have these old school rubber wrestlers from like the late 80s. And I still have those. I have about 30 or 40 of them. Hulk Hogan, Macho Man, you know, that era. So that's pretty much the only toys. And I got a little bit of Hot Wheels. Other than that, everything else is gaming. Any other questions, Chris?
No, I think that will be it right now.
Okay, I'm going to end it with the game of the month. So basically all this is, Chris, is you just tell us a game that you've been playing, and if you want to give a little bit of detail why you've been playing it or whatever, that's cool. If not, that's cool too. So, Bones, what's your game of the month?
Well, see, this is going to be kind of difficult because I really haven't been gaming. The collecting side of me has been in
pick
full
the
force.
collecting
So,
side.
I'm going to have to pick a game that I need to reacquire for my collection.
There you go.
And that's going to be Sunset Riders for the Genesis.
And Dan?
My game of the month is a game that I'm not playing because I'm afraid to, and that's Cyberpunk 2077. For Christmas, but I hear such bad things. I'm wondering if I should return it or not.
I would say keep it, just for the simple fact that they stopped the publishing of it. So keep the disc until you find out if they're gonna resell it. It might be worth a lot of money, even if the game is a hot mess.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, same
Yeah,
with me.
don't sell it until you find out what's going on with the legal standing of everything.
I agree with
Don't
Linda.
worry, Linda. Dan doesn't get rid of anything.
Yeah, I agree with Linda with that. I would keep it. I don't have it personally, but I would definitely keep it.
No, I've seen console gaming on so many fronts and just seen. My favorite is the enemy is T-posing or stuck in like one position but still moving around. That was my favorite part. Just watching somebody battle an enemy that's not moving but still hitting them. Still, they don't know what to do. They're like, it's hitting me. I don't know how or what it's doing, but it's hitting me.
Ridiculous.
Alright, Linda, your game of the month?
My game of the month will be Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Completed that game a little bit ago, and that was outstanding.
Awesome. Chris, your game of the month?
I'm going to say right now, Immortal Phoenix Rising, because I'm enjoying every bit of it.
Nice.
Nice.
And my game of the month is, I'm going to go OG and go with Super Mario Brothers.
Can't go wrong with that.
Nope. So we're going to close it out now. Thank you, Chris, for coming on and introducing yourself to everybody out there, and hopefully you get some more people following you and a little bit more of a crowd coming your way.
Well, thank you for having me on.
And as always, thank you to my normal podcast crew in here.
Yes.
Like,
And later, YouTube. As always, don't blow, just leave.